Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good morning, afternoon or evening. In today's video, I'm going to be creating some bracelets. These are going to be bracelets that I'm going to be giving as gifts. So I wanted to share with you the whole process of creating them. I am going to be using these beads, including some of the letter beads, because I'm going to be creating words for the bracelets. And I have all these different color beads, and I'm going to be using a lot of the whites and clear beads. And I'm going to be using this bracelet bead design board to help me measure out the size of bracelet that I want, which is going to be 7.5-inch bracelets. I started out by creating my first bracelet with this 1mm stretch clear cord, and I'm gonna show you how I did that, but it didn't work out. So then I'm going to be using this 0.5mm stretch cord because that worked out better, but I want to show you how the 1mm turned out so that you can see the difference. So I'm going to be creating 3 bracelets, each with each of these words, the word peace, breathe, and strength. And then I'm going to be using the board to help me size up the 7.5-inch bracelet, where I can put all my beads and sort of design how I want my bracelet to look like. These bracelets, I'm using 8mm round beads and these little 4mm spacers, as you see here. And then now I'm ready to actually thread my bracelet with my clear stretchy cord, and I'm using this 1mm cord. I was going to use a little needle, but the needle is too thin and the cord is too thick, so I'm just going to use the cord just like this and just start beading my beads into it. As you will soon see, this 1mm stretchy cord didn't really work out, and you'll see why in a minute because I'll show you. But I still wanted to show you this process so that you can see where I made the mistake and why I switched to the 0.5mm stretchy cord. So this is how it looks like so far, and now it is time to actually tie a knot on it so that you know, it can become the actual bracelet. And this is where I had the issue because the stretchy cord is too thick for this bracelet to hide the knot that I'm creating, so it's kind of hard to hide it, and you'll see here in a minute why. my camera here so that you can see what the issue is. So there is the actual knot there, as you see there, but because the cord is too thick, it's hard to hide it and like move one of the beads over, because it just doesn't fit in the little hole. The knot just doesn't fit in there, so it will be impossible to hide it, and it just wouldn't look good even if I cut it, right? If I call the extra, it's still gonna look like a little spacer bead, and it just doesn't look nice. So this 1mm for me didn't work out. It's just too thick. I think if I want to use this 1mm one, I will need to actually get beads that have a little bigger hole so that I can actually hide the knot. So I am actually just going to cut it off and just remove the 1mm stretchy cord, and then start the whole process again with the 0.5mm stretchy cord. And in this case, I'm going to be using it double. So I'm going to double the stretchy cord, and then I'm going to use a needle to help me thread the beads through. I am using this very thin needle. I got this one at Michael's, and I'm not sure if I like it, if it's supposed to be like this. Actually, this is my first time using all of this jewelry supply, so you know, I'm still trying things out, and I decided to try this needle from Michael's, but I'm not sure if I like it very much. But anyway, this is what I had, so that's what I used. Also, if you want to see a video where I unbox all the supplies that I'm using here, I'm gonna leave a link in the description in case you would like to see more detail about all the supplies that I got. I watch a lot of videos on how to do this, and this seems to be the best way to do it, so this is what I'm trying. So you fold the 0.5mm cord in half, right? So you end up with two ends like this, like two open ends, and then you thread that through the needle, and then your other end has the little loop where you actually folded this cord in half. And then I'm just gonna add this little clamp thingy here, so that when I thread beads through, my beads do not fall off. Again, I'm not an expert, but this seems to work just fine. So this is what the bracelet looks like again, and now I can start tying my knot. So the way to do that is, so I have my two ends here that have the loose ends, and I'm going to take one of these ends and loop it over that loop right here, and just pull it through, and then sort of like pull it until it's together, and then I can start tying the knots. I know, I hope it makes sense. I think it's easier if, as you see it here, it's better than me trying to explain it. I'm trying to make sure here that the bracelet is not super tight before I actually start with creating the knots. That way it doesn't look like super tight when you put it on. And now I'm just going to tie a few knots here and then add some glue so that I can and move one of the beads over the knot so that I can hide the knot. Make sure that when you cut the excess, you don't cut too close to the knot. Just leave a little bit, as you see here, so that your bracelet doesn't come undone. And now I'm going to add some glue to the little knot and then move over the bead so that it hides it. And I'm using this bead glue that also I saw at Michael's. I never tried it before, so I'm just gonna use it now. It's supposed to be for jewelry making, so I'm hoping it's going to work out for me. This glue is very liquidy, so you only need like 1 drop to cover the whole knot, and try not to get it in your skin. Avoid that because then it's hard to remove it from your skin. So I'm just adding that, and then I'm going to move one of the beads over so that it actually hides the knot, and then I'm going to let it dry for a day or so before I actually give it away, just to make sure it's completely dry. So here are the bracelets that I made, and I actually made a lot more, but I didn't show them here, but I follow the same process as I showed you on the first one, and I think they turned out really nice. I love this clear sort of monochromatic type of bracelet, and I think they turned out really nice. I'm also going to be using some little pouches that I'm going to be adding some personalizing them, adding some of the same word that I'm using in the bracelet. I'm going to add it to the little pouch so that they're more personalized, and I'll show that in a separate video. But I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I think the bracelets turned out nice. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.